Hey, first and foremost, Young Ripper, good for you, man. I'm glad to see that you're doing well. That this comic book is going to bring you a lot of money. You put your back out. You put your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears in this man, and hoping that you will create more comic books from years to come. So, with that out of the way, guys, I know for a fact some of you guys who have been following this whole thing from social media, from Twitter, Facebook, whatever platform you follow, the Young Ripper, aka Eric July, he put out his website today for people to pre-order the Rippaverse #1 issue with his character is Avery Silman, a common rancher. If you guys have been following this story from a while, first of all, if you haven't, I highly recommend that you go to the Rippaverse channel or go to Young Rippers 59 channel and go watch the trailers from his comic book series and go watch his background on his I don't know if this is gonna be the face of his comic book, but as of right now he is the face. So if you guys, my bad, a little correction there. I don't know if Isum is going to be the face of the Rippaverse, but if there are more characters that are going to be the face of the Rippaverse, as of right now, this is who I see is the face of the Rippaverse comics until he gets more characters out. So Avery Silman, Isum. From what I'm seeing, this guy, like this comic book in general, from what Ripper has done successfully, this is gonna be a major success. That's what I'm going off about what I'm seeing from the numbers. Because if you guys have been following this for a while now, Young Ripper has reached over $650,000 from this one book alone. Over $650,000 as of right now of this recording. And from what I've read, I've added up the numbers from the A cover to the B cover to the A cover signed and to the B cover signed. He sold over 11,000 copies in his first issue. His first issue, he sold over 11,000 copies. That is a huge win, especially being your first series where you have some people who are done with Marvel and DC. Eric July did it the smart way. He said, "Hey man, forget these companies. These companies are not going to give a crap about you guys at all. If you guys focus on what I'm doing, and I'm gonna show you how to actually write a good comic, and I will prove it to you guys. I will send y'all if you guys pre-order, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna ship it out. You guys are gonna get the comics that you want and that you crave for. That's pure entertainment. A great storyline, great color, great story, everything. This is what happens when you have a fan base like Young Rippers that knows that he's been a comic book fan for ever since he was young. But the more that the DC and Marvel writers have been pushing out this propaganda, this political, this woke garbage, the more he saw that these companies are not worth fighting for. So it's best to just create an alternative, create a indie comic book series. And right now, as from what I'm seeing, the Rippaverse comics is going to be one of the biggest comic book series out there, right next to Dark Horse. He sold over 11,000 copies, and it's only been 12 hours. 12 hours, he sold over 11,000 copies. Guys, this is major proof that people have been done. They have been over DC and Marvel for the past few years plus, when it's all about DC and Marvel has been trashing their fan base. They have been putting out these garbage ass books. Superman, Aquaman protested about climate change, even though those two characters alone could stop climate change anytime they wanted. The whole Superman wearing a pride cape, I think that's what it was, a pride cape, yeah. Fucking and all this other freaking political garbage, because that's what it is. It's politics. Static Shock. I don't know what they're doing with Static Shock right now, but all I know is he's not a fan favorite anymore, like people want him to be. They are pushing real world tragedies into these real world problems into these characters, and that's not what people have been reading comics for. They have been reading comics to escape reality and try to go into their own happy place in their mind, trying to escape all that BS, from the outside world. And they try to and they use comic books, and they use movies and all that stuff as a means of escaping those problems and try to feel in a more secluded area in their own minds. But now you have these BS writers. Again, I don't know how the hell they got jobs at DC and Marvel, because what they've been pushing out, and mainly they've been pushing out a whole bunch of garbage, especially when it comes to tokenizing characters. Only seeing legitimacy in white characters, and then they did the whole race swap thing, especially when it came to Miles Morales. They turned Miles Morales into every Marvel superhero there is, from Wolverine to Hawk to Spider-Man to Captain America to Falcon, even though Falcon was already black. To I think they did it with Iron Man as well. They even did it with Thor, where the writer of Thor made this the most stereotypical black person to ever be pushed in a freaking comic book series. And that's what a lot of people got pissed off with the whole Miles Morales thing, because they was pushing out with this whole Miles Morales and Asgard thing. Asgard is my hood. All eyes on me. Hammer time, pushing like stereotypical, BS like that on a black character, thinking like this is what black people think and how they feel. It's just completely out of touch with reality. And this is what young Ripper came in. He is pushing out comics. He's going to push out a comic that's not going to be all about that. It's going to be actually know how to write a legitimate black character and a female character too, because a lot of these female characters from Marvel and DC have been toxic. Like, men garbage. Men should be in the back. Men should just follow us. We know what we're doing, and like stuff like that. Like, that's a complete toxic femininity trait that Marvel wants to push, and DC. And if you don't like what they're doing, you're misogynistic, you're a bigot, you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're white supremacist, you're a Nazi, neo-Nazi, all that other BS that they want to push, completely trashing their own fan base. That's what they're doing, and that's a reason why those people who have left DC and Marvel have gone to indie comics such as Eric July and among other indie comics such as Dark Horse, because they see what Eric July is doing. They heard from his show, For Kenneth's Sake, what he's been doing, how he's been feeling about freaking Marvel and DC, and they agree with him. They agree with what he was saying. Say like, yeah, all these comic books, all these movies and TV shows they've been doing has been nothing but garbage now, and it's been nothing. It's been politicized. It's been freaking just propaganda, just pushing a narrative on people. And if you don't like it, then you are all those names that I just pinpointed you out. They are completely tarnishing their own sales, and they don't care, because they know there are some diehard DC and Marvel fans that will just buy anything that they put out. And when they say, "Hey man, we don't want this, we want this," too bad. You gonna read it anyway. It's writers like that. It's writers and publishers like that put out like this. And I'm hoping that Eric July does push out more series, because I've already ordered my first issue, and then I've also ordered the poster with the female. It's gonna be right here and right here. As soon as August hits and those things get shipped off, it's gonna be right there behind me. So yeah, I'm showing some support for Young Ripper, and I'm really hoping that this series that he's got going on does well. He does seem like he has some creativity. He has the fan base behind him. He has the money. Good, great for him. He worked hard for that. He saved a lot of money, and he put a risk in order to gain some more money. That's what you gotta do. This is what it is. The means to success. He's taking the gamble. He's saying screw these companies. I'm doing it myself, and now he's seeing a big success. Right now, at the time of this video, over $660,000 and over 11,000 comics sold. This man is reaching great heights, and he just started just today. So guys, if you guys want to show some support to some actual people who actually care about comic books and all this stuff, I would recommend that you go out and support Rippaverse, buy a comic or something like that, because I got mine. I bought mine. It's going to be here in August, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do a review on it, and this is gonna be the first comic book I have ever bought. I read them. I mainly read manga. That's what I read. I mainly read manga because the Western comics is not it. It's not it. It's just not. All this political garbage. Nobody wants to be reading that. People don't like politics. So why would you involve politics in comic books? It makes no sense, people. Come on. And then it's also, if you guys don't believe that the DC writers and the Marvel writers do not see Eric July as a threat, then you obviously don't know what's going on. Because this guy, if he has reached over 11,000 copies in just 12 hours, imagine what he can do in a month in his second series. When his first series it becomes a huge success. Just imagine that. If you guys don't see, because Marvel and DC see Dark Horse as a threat. From last year, from what I've seen, from August 2021, the single issue, Spawn outdid both Marvel and DC by a lot. Yeah, look at this. King Spawn up number 1 from Image Comics. 79,908 copies. X-Men only 117,000 copies. And everything down here was from Star Wars, DC, and Marvel. And look at this. Here's from issue 21 from the first series. Miles Morales Marvel Tales number 1. So 18,000 copies. Young Ripper is almost at that number, at 11,346 from what I'm counting. He's almost at those numbers. He's almost at Marvel numbers. Again, guys, if you guys know DC and Marvel, they should take Eric July as a threat. If they don't, then it's their own grave, and eventually Eric July is going to surpass these numbers hands down, because he knows what the fans of comic books want. He knows what they crave. They crave actual, authentic storylines and entertainment, and that's exactly what Eric July says he's going to do. It's the same thing he did with his band Backwards. I did listen to some of the songs from Backwards. It's pretty good songs, and also some of his rap songs. Pretty good music. You guys should give it a listen. Guys, Marvel and DC should see Eric July as a threat, but the reason they don't is because they're hopped up on this bandwagon. If they just put out any issue, whether or not it's good or not, people are just gonna buy it, which they will. Diehard DC and diehard Marvel fans will buy it. But at the same time, if you have a person like Eric July and other indie guys that are putting out good comic books, good stories, good characters, it's going to take over DC and Marvel, and this is their biggest problem. Just because they are a multi-billion-dollar company, they think that they are untouchable. That's not how it is in the real world. Because DC and Marvel, even Disney, can be taken over by the indie guys just like that if they make the perfect move. And that's the problem with these big corporations. They can just put out anything and say, if you don't like it, then you are all the above. All these names that I just told you. But guys, yeah, man. Eric July, he made a whole bunch of money back. Great for him, man. Great for him. I'm really sincere. I love seeing brothers make it, man. Like, for real. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you guys like what I'm saying, like and subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell. I will see y'all next one. Peace.